This week can be summed up in one word: strikes. Let's talk about it on the weekly update. Okay, friends, let's talk about the Iranian strike, the dock strike, and the market. Here's what you need to know. Now, first, before we get started, I know my neck looks horrendous. This is what happens when you have a 2.5-year-old who loves to walk in the woods and some abundant poison ivy in the wilderness. So I got some on my neck. And the only thing I can tell you about having poison ivy on your neck, it's probably the worst spot to get some poison ivy. So I thought about wearing a turtleneck. There's just one problem. I don't own one. So you're going to have to bear with me. But here's what you need to know. First up, strikes, both military and labor, abound. What will it mean for the market? So first up, we're going to talk about the Iranian strike on Israel. And this is a very fresh, very new scenario. So data is coming in very rapidly, but here's what I see. One of the things that I noticed, first of all, the videos were horrific. I have never seen what happened last night happen to Israel before. It was just jaw-dropping footage that we saw. But there is a little bit of a silver lining, and I want to be careful. This is conspiratorial, what I'm going to talk about here, but here's how I'm looking at it. If we remember, my take on the last Iranian strike on Israel was that there was some back channeling going on, and that it was primarily a media operation, not an actual military operation. I'm seeing some signs. It's very early right now, but what I'm seeing is the strike was huge, but the damage is really limited. And so this has some DNA, I think, with that previous strike. I think we might be lucky that there might be some back channeling here as well. It's still very early on. That assessment can change, but at least as of today, right now, it seems like there was very little damage, and there was certainly the potential for there to be extreme amounts of damage. And so what I'm using as clues for how to navigate this, the U.S. urged Israel to limit its response to the Iranian attack. Now, that's very interesting. So what I'm seeing is I think there's some discussion going on behind the scenes. I think Iran had to strike because, Hezbollah went down in a bad way, and so they needed to do something to sort of save face. But it doesn't look to me like a provocation, at least at this point. We'll see. It's very tough in the fog of war to ever get the true story. And especially, I don't think the IDF allows posting of what damage actually is. There's some censorship that goes on over there. But I actually have some hope on this situation, so we'll see. Remember, though, whatever happens, war's primary cost is humanitarian, not economic. So, yes, there was a big historic thing that happened in Israel last night. We're currently awaiting their response, but I actually have some hope here. It doesn't look like it was as bad as maybe could have been feared. So that's the Israel strike. Again, all our normal war rules apply here. Primarily humanitarian costs, not necessarily economic. I think the market should take it in stride. Next up, we have the dockworker strike. Longshoremen Union, they're trying to negotiate a contract. They want some sort of, I haven't really looked at the contract, but, the headlines report they want some sort of anti-automation stuff in their contract. This one looks to me, a dockworker strike can be huge because of what we import. So we want to be careful of economic impact here. However, you're already starting to see signs that this strike is going to resolve pretty quickly. The dock workers wanted something like a 70% raise over the next 6 years. I think as of right now, they have negotiated down to 61% as of the point in time we're talking right now. And the ports previously offered a 50% raise. So what that tells me is both sides are sort of working, coming to an agreement in the middle. This just looks like standard negotiation to me. I think maybe this one wraps up within 2 weeks, and that's good because this sort of strike, the economy can take it in stride. It's generally as we get past the 1 week barrier into maybe 2 weeks worth of time where we're going to start to feel it in the economy. And the last thing we want out of the economy right now is an inflation spike brought on by a supply shock because of dock workers striking. I think the union knows that. I think the ports know that. I think they're going to come to resolution very quickly. So what does this all mean? Iranian strike, dock strike, and the market? Well, this week has been host to big strikes in the market. And I would say my take on them, On the Israel thing, it's early and a little conspiratorial. So once again, I've disclaimed twice now that this is a fresh situation. But the Iranian strike, to me, has some hints at back channeling. And I think that would be the best case scenario out of the Middle East. So I'm looking for positive developments here. The longshoreman strike seems clear cut to me. I think that one resolves within 2 weeks. Both sides are already taking steps towards the middle ground. And the effects of this strike just get too huge if this goes on for too long. So I think it resolves pretty quickly. Market upset always comes out of the blue. I'm not surprised that the market sort of reacted to these events pretty negatively yesterday, but I don't know if they stick around long. So, we're still in our economic storm. These were just sort of like news events out of the blue that sort of happened to us. I don't know necessarily that they have any staying power. We'll take a look on the weekend review and see what it all means. But there you go. That's my take. I'll see you for the weekend update. Take care. Okay, friends, that was the video. Hope you liked it. If you found it informative, good, entertaining, I'd love if you could scroll down here beneath the video and give me a like there. It helps us out with the algorithm. And then if you want to be notified first of anything new that we upload to the channel, if you come over here, click subscribe, you'll be the first to know as soon as we upload anything. Appreciate it. See you soon.